Hi, I'm Mia, and this was not my original plan. But yeah, originally I wanted to do kind of like a black graphic liner with some black rhinestones, except I suck at graphic liner and I couldn't make these two like shapes even, so I got frustrated and I gave up. So yeah, but I want to kind of do like a misty purple and burgundy kind of look. No rhyme or reason, just because. So yeah, so I think I'm only gonna use the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette because it has all of the colors that I need. Wow, I know, who would have guessed? But I'm gonna start off with a little mix of the shades Flush and a little bit of Cheeks, because even though it's gonna be burgundy, I still want a color to blend it out into. But today is, what day is it? It is Monday, February 2nd, because I did not have the day off yesterday. But kind of not. I got out much later than I was supposed to on Saturday, so my manager was like, oh, like, you can just leave the moment I get in on Sunday. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, that would be like 3-4 hours early. She's like, yeah. She's like, it's fine. So I'm like, okay. So I know, clocked out, I want to say 1:30. I didn't get home until like 2:33 because of the stupid MBTA and the delays that have been happening all week on my line. Yay! So, you know, got home a little before 3. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do my makeup, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I'm just going with just Flush. Just to kind of get everything. But I was like, oh, I'll do my makeup, blah, blah, blah. Then we ended up going and getting dinner stuff, and then the night just got away from me, and then I passed out at like, I'd want to say 10. I'm like, because I also woke up at 7 this morning, so I'm like, okay. And next I'm going to go in with just Ruby, and I'm going to start packing that on the, I'm going to tap some of that off because that was scary, outer edge. But you know, we did our first, like, shenanigans, if you will, post-surgery for my father. We went to the coffee shop, and we got dinner stuff, and we went to the mall, because there's a Pet Express in the Square One Mall, and there was the website said there was a Italian Greyhound, and that's my mother's favorite dog, so my father's like, we're not gonna get her, obviously, but, like, you know, we'll go look, we'll go see. Thankfully she wasn't there, because he's like, if she was, I would have, actually. I'm like, but then back in with just Flush to blend out these edges. I wanted to go to Ulta originally, but then we also ended up going to TJ Maxx, and I was smelling all the loose perfumes there and candles, and I blew out my nose, so I'm like, we're not, like, that's kind of pointless to go. So again, very small, just more of a get out of the house kind of thing, because he's like going out makes me so tired, but he's like, I don't want to just stay home and do nothing. I'm like, okay, but you're tired all the time, so how's that gonna work? And then back in with Ruby to kind of reinforce this. Oh, that's why I'm like, wow, I look really like pale and dusty in this. I still have my the protective layer on, so that makes sense. Also, my manager just uploaded the wrong schedule into the wrong days, because I was like, oh, yeah, I got a notification that, you know, oh my god, blah, 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 posted an update to your schedule. I'm like, oh my god, finally. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's labeled under the week of, the 20th is a Friday, which I know because my mother's birthday is the 20th. So whatever that week is, she had put in, I'm like, okay, so not this week where we actually have a schedule. Next week, the schedule that you're working on, I'm like, I know for a fact that you don't have that schedule set up. But, say Levy. Ooh, I'm not gonna see my manager at all this week because she's getting surgery. I don't know what it is. I didn't ask. She didn't tell me. We're gonna leave it at that. But I don't think it's getting her tubes tied. She would have done that when she had the baby. But what do I know? And then I'm going to take some of Flush and some of Handkerchief and just kind of pat that all up in there. I don't know if I want to do a shimmer yet. Like, I really don't know. But we're just gonna... But yeah, my manager said I could leave early, which was good because I also ended up going in like for a cumulative total of like 4 hours early over the week. Because of catering orders, so I'm like, that at least evens it out. And that's on top of my usual clocking in a few minutes early because I'm always there early. And because nobody ever gets their job done, so I have to be in early, otherwise it's not gonna... Sorry. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to do my job. Like when I have to go to the bank because nobody else does it. But I'm gonna take the shade Lilac and I'm gonna start by bringing it right under here. Right there. And then I'm gonna go up and blend it a little above where I had that very light pink shade. So kinda like that. I know I did something a little similar kind of recently. I know I did it in July. I don't know if I did it anytime recently, but I love these colors together for some reason. I want to try to do a sage green and purple combo, because that's like my friend and I's colors. Like, they're coming with me to New York, so we have a Google Doc of things that we're gonna do, and I have my color set as a sage green and theirs is a kind of lilac periwinkle tone. That's just also because what Google Docs let us do. So I'm gonna just bring that up very soft, and then with a teeny tiny little brush I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Lavender, which is a very more cool toned color, but I just want to try to give it a little dimension and touch up the edges a bit, because this is also lighter, so it will also kind of give the illusion of brightening it up, which is funny because I'm just putting it on my purple dark circles. Hunky. I don't know if I want to shimmer. Honestly, no clue. And I'm just going to go over with some of Angel to kind of... The only thing I hate about these tones is that the red gets dusty very quickly, so I have to go in like a lot to kind of fix it. But just gonna use that brush first to blend it out. Back in with a little bit of Ruby, just so I can get those original tones down. Do a little flick out, rebuild it up on this side a little, same thing. And then just with a little bit of micellar water, I'm going to clean up this side mostly. Because even though I'm not like cleaning it up, it's just a little unruly. So, do a little. I'm almost out of sleepy gummies, and nowhere near me has the ones that I want, so this isn't ideal, not gonna lie. But, and like, I can't mind because they're cheap. They don't taste great. They taste very weedy, which, I know, wild concept. But, say lovey. And next I'm gonna go in with the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Wear Eyeliner Stick in the shade Periwinkle Pop. And I'm just gonna put that wild concept in the waterline. Okay, this isn't overly bright. It's honestly kind of the same color as my waterline, which is funny because my waterline's not periwinkle or purple at all. Ooh. But it's just one of those lighter colors that doesn't catch immediately, which is fine. I'm sorry, I hate the way this feels in my inner corner specifically. So. Oh, I hate it here. Alright, this is going to be it for my eyes. I think they look very, very nice. I like this color story, these tones together. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. But I need to go find some lashes and I should be back in a second. Alright, hi, I'm back with lashes. I dilly-dallied. Dillied and I dallied. To the point that I almost took this off, but my eyeshadow looks really good and I like it. And if I don't get this done, I'm gonna have to do either a look tonight or 2 looks tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm a little behind. I didn't do a look this past Monday. Well, I had Sunday, Monday off last week. I didn't do a look Monday. So yeah. But gonna move on to the base. These are from Glow Recipe. They're the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. I know. Who could have foreseen this? But my schedule is actually in our system for the first time in a month and a half, I'd say. So, shout out. Because my manager hasn't had access to it since she's been back. So all of her schedules have been paper, which I'm fine with. I know my schedules because my schedule is set unless something happens. But our system will also be like, oh my god, you have a shift in 3 hours, blah blah blah. So people who are chronically late like having that access, and again, I like it too. However, I don't need it. I'm just that good. I haven't used this in a while, so fingers crossed. But this is from NYX Professional Makeup. This is the Face Glue Grip and Primer, which is funny because it doesn't have the same consistency that most grip and primers do, like the Milk or the e.l.f. or even the newer Wet n Wild one. This is also very runny, so that shows you that it doesn't have the same consistency. But I'm gonna very carefully kind of press and pat into the face a little more because it doesn't really matter. I was just like, oh, I need to pat and press into the skin because it's a grip and primer. No, it's not the same consistency, so I don't need to play that game. Which is what I hate about those thick, sticky primers, is that you have to like work it into the skin and warm it up, and I'm like, it is so much work, and you should not need to put that much effort into a product to make it work. Not even just for your skin, but for just application. Like, I can't use a brush when I do grip and primers like that. Even if I, did the correct application of it on the skin, something about the brush just doesn't work, and it has to be a sponge, which I find so stupid. So, but what do I know? Also, I did the math I counted my Snapchat photos, because that's where I keep all my makeup selfies. I did over 100 looks last year, which makes sense because if I do at least 2 a week and there's 52 weeks in a year, it's just kind of how math works. But I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Luminous Foundation in the shade 125. I'm not going to put my Color Crayon drops in here because this is one of the ones that matches my neck a little better than most. Because it's neutral, but it's like a very... like, it's not so peachy as everything else. So, and because I don't have time to deal with mixing things right now. Oh, this is a little gross, but I have a mole on my thigh. Like it's a little out of reach, but I've had an ingrown hair in it for the past week, and I can't get it with tweezers, so I've been resorting to pimple patches to try to bring up, and it's so gross, and I know. But I've gone through so many pimple patches in the past week trying to get this little bastard out. And like I did get it last night, thank God. Cuz like it has just been so like swollen, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I need to. So I busted out my skinny tweezers. So I'm like, there's no way in hell. No way in hell that it's continuing to live like that. So for the first time in a week, my thigh is not swollen. It does not hurt when I have clothes on because it was swollen to the point that I'm like, this is a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I also kneeled down to get something off a bottom shelf today, and it took me a solid minute to get back up because my knee locked, and I'm like, I'm too young for this. I know knee problems aren't genetic, but like, my father has a history of knee problems. My grandfather has a history of knee and heart problems, so I can't wait. Oh, and there's a history of stomach cancer on my father's side, so I can't wait for my body to get older and I'll figure out all this. And then on the back of my hand, I'm going to take some of the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in Royal Icing 1.1N. Because I don't want to go too heavy-handed with the concealer, so I'm going to take my BK Beauty brush, and I'm just going to start pressing this in. But I already have my Valentine's Day shirt for work, because my manager's like, I'm going to give you yours now because I know that you're not going to lose. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm going to throw it immediately into my washing machine and not touch it until Valentine's Day when I'm trying to find clothes and go, oh shit, I should probably wear that today. Also, she has me on an 8-hour shift on Valentine's Day. I'm like, you know what? I was hoping, because, we were talking about it. I'm like, I'm assuming I'm in at 8. She's like, yeah, she's like, I feel like we're not going to be so busy during the day. She's like, I think we'll be fine, just you and me. I'm like, honestly, I think I'll be fine, just me. But she can also leave early, so she has me on an 8-hour, which is fine. I need as many hours as I can get, and hopefully she doesn't take me off a day in exchange. But I was like, oh my god, I can open the 23rd for you because, it's your birthday, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh my god, blah, blah, that's so nice. I'm like, well, I was going to be asked anyway, so she's like, yeah, probably. I'm like, I know. And next, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Crayon in Luminous Taupe. Oh, but I did end up selling my Hadestown ticket because I was having that conversation with my mother because I'm like, you know what? It is for February 28th, which is a Saturday night. It is also 3 weeks the day of my New York trip. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't get all, theatered out before my, 4 or 5 theater week, She's like, yeah, so I sold it on StubHub, and now I'm just gonna be paranoid for the next month, about if the PDF was clear enough and it will let the person use it, because I'm not missing out on my $100 back. And like, technically I think what I did was illegal because I sold it a little higher than what I bought it for so I could make my money back, which I think is illegal, but if other people can do it, sucks to suck. But I'm gonna go in with the Kylie Cosmetics Hybrid Blush in the shade Petal. I know, who would have thought? This is a Dibs brush. I don't know which brush this is. It's dual-ended. I got this via Influencer. This is my first time using it based on how very nice and clean it is. The bristles are very soft, but I feel like they're not going to be dense enough to get this properly. But yeah, I have so many things booked for New York. Like, our days are packed already. Because originally my friend, for getting Saturday night, the 21st, originally my friend was like, oh my god, go to an orchestra. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if you want, that's on you, ticket wise. I mean, I'll pay my half obviously, but like, obviously you can choose what we do too. And then they were like, oh my god, what if we go see Death of a Salesman? I'm like, one, I looked at those ticket prices. 2, it is an 8 o'clock show, which, fine. The orchestra would have been 8:30. Death of a Salesman is 3 hours and 10 minutes long, including intermission. So we will be getting out at 11:10. And I was saying that to them. I don't like the size for blush. I feel like if I did it for my bronzer contour, fine. But for blush, no. But I said that to them. They're like, ah. They're like, what do you think of these seats? I'm like, go to this website, go to a view from my seat. Not sponsored. I'm like, it's just what I use for you know, checking seats, and they're like, oh my god, that's genius. I'm like, well, mezzanine seats aren't too bad. And we looked at the view, and they're like, okay. So we're seeing that on Saturday night now. But it has Nathan Lane in it, and I adore Nathan Lane so much. So I'm like, have I read Death of a Salesman? No. Do I know anything besides the fact that it's an Arthur Miller thing, and he was married to Marilyn Monroe at some point? That's all I know, realistically. So we're seeing that Saturday night. Sunday we have we don't have any like musicals or anything, but we do have the Museum of Natural History, or American Museum of Natural History, whatever it's called. I'm gonna take actually no, I'm gonna go in with some of my Nabla Cosmetics Close-Up Blur and Powder Blush in the shade Petite, just to bring a little pink into. So I'm gonna use the other side of this brush. I texted them, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, I kind of want to see this thing called the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. They're like, oh my god, I got into it for a few months, a little while ago, because my brother was obsessed with them. Like, they have a revival on Broadway right now. I'm like, do you want to see it? I'm like, they're like, yeah, sure. So we're doing that Monday night. I need a powder. And then I'm going to go in with the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Flush. And we're just going to layer a little bit of that a little more back and up. So we have that Monday night. Because there's not a lot of things Mondays. And then they're leaving Tuesday afternoon. So, Tuesday night, I have a Dog Day Afternoon ticket with John Bernthal and Yvonne Moss-Bachrach, I think his name is pronounced. So, I love John Bernthal. He is... Oi. Okay, I like this for powder. I don't think I like the density of this for creams. And I'm just going to do a little sweeping. And next I'm going to go in with the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Pearlized in the shade Seismic. And then Wednesday, for my day show, I have Cats the Jellicle Ball. Now, I don't support Andrew Lloyd Webber emotionally because he's British. But I find the concept interesting. And I've never listened to Cats, never seen Cats. I know that they're tiny cat people. And then for my 7 o'clock show, Wednesday night, I have Oh Mary, because I got a discounted ticket. So, I have a very fulfilling week planned that I will never financially recover from. Especially considering the fact that I'm going to play the Yelp War and try to get us a Din Tai Fung reservation for Sunday night, since we don't have anything officially going on. So, I mean, I'm thrilled, like, but I'm never going to financially recover from this. I'm going to go in with the Rhode Peptide Lip Shape in the shade Twist. I was going to lose my goddamn mind on Saturday morning. Give me 2 seconds. So, Saturday I wake up to the notification of, oh my god, there's an issue at one of the stations, blah blah blah, delays, blah blah blah. And then they went, oh hey, service is suspended, you can use this bus to get here. And I'm like, and then they're like, oh, we're doing shuttle buses. I'm like, I should leave an extra like half hour, 45 minutes than I usually would, because I'm like, I don't trust these people. So, you know, go get on the train at like 8:30, 8:45 for a 10:15 clock in. And then I'm gonna go in with the Merit Beauty Signature Lip Matte in the shade Classic. I'm just gonna do a light little tap. So, you know, we got to the station that shuttle buses are supposed to start at, and people on the platform were like, no, you guys stay there. And we're like, So, ended up being on the first train post shuttle buses, which was funny because it was still not very long between, so I'm like, and then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Kaja Juicy Glass Lip Balm in Watermelon Cooler just to bring a little more pink back into my lips. So you know, we're supposed to be fine. Yeah, it took us another 30-45 minutes on the train from the spot to where I get off, and I'm like, this is a 10-minute endeavor. 10-15 minutes top. I'm like, I'm tired of this. I'm so tired. Like, I know it's because of the snow, everything's delayed, blah 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 blah. But I left an hour early, and I still got off the train at the same time I usually would. So, but I need to go fix my bangs, which is gonna be an endeavor because I need to wash them tonight anyways. But I should be back in a second. Alright, and this is the finished look. I love how this eye turned out. I was looking at my YouTube videos, and I did do kind of like a lavender fuchsia magenta color story a month or two ago, whenever I did my hair like full on. But I added shimmer that was kind of bluish green, and it was like purple entirely here and then magenta entirely here, and they never like met properly, so it doesn't really count. The only thing I'm not 100% sure is the lips. Like, I love this blush with this eye and this blush in general, like, shout out. But the only thing I'm iffy about is the lips, and that's always my problem. But other than that, I think this looks very nice, and I just love the little bit of purple. I feel like this also would have looked really nice with like a pale baby blue, but something about magenta and not magenta, like a burgundy and a lilac have been like really on me lately. But